Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to PlayStation Plus highlights for the month of March 2017. The second game we have today is Disc Jam. It is a indie game brought to you by High Horse Entertainment, and it is a sports game. So, I don't generally have a problem with people playing sports games, and I say, hey, play what you want. But I suck at sports games. Now, this one is mostly an online game, but there is actually, interestingly enough, a couch co-op or couch competitive mode, so you don't have to actually play online. You can play with other players in your own home. That is a novelty these days. And I gotta say, I love it. I've never seen one of these on the beginning of the game before. Now, the connection is kind of annoying at some points, as you'll see later on. Anyway, look, there's quite a bit of customization options for your character, and yeah, you can do all this. Of course, you have to unlock most of it, which means playing the game, which means, you know, essentially being good at the game, which unfortunately is something that I am not, as again, you will see later on. I am not going to play a full match in this thing. I'm just going to do some of the training, but for right now, let's look at some of the characters and stuff. I hesitated. I wanted to be that guy. He's huge. Instead, I went for this fella. As you can see, they really have a lot of customization options. I mean, you can make your character pretty singular in this game. You don't have to worry about running into another character that looks exactly like you and does exactly the same stuff as you, which is kind of nice. You know, I like that. I like to be able to have the option to be somebody else. There's the prize box. Of course, you need a lot of the J stuff to use it. Here are some of your options. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is where the play offline gives you the option to play in your house with other people. So let's do the basic tutorial. Welcome to Disc Jam. This is the easy part. Let's just see if we can move. Yep. Now this part got a little tricky. Mostly because of the aiming problems I have. See? I couldn't slide properly. I couldn't slide at the right angle. And then I just couldn't slide far enough. Ah. Come on, dude. Oh, for Christ's sake. Now, like I said, I don't really have any problems with this game as far as the gameplay is concerned. It's just, it's a sports game, and I'm not good at that. This was a little confusing in my opinion, because I aim one way and it throws it the other way. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if it was, you know, just to confuse me. By that throw, that should have gone the other way. Throw it! There we go, got it, finally. Jesus. Now this part really threw me off, because I had to throw it almost immediately after I caught it, and I was terrible at that. It took me a few tries. Now, one thing you'll know about this game, it does have a pretty cool soundtrack. It's kind of fun. I was racking up the points, but unfortunately, it wasn't helping me much. I needed to move on, and I haven't even got a single one of them yet. I was getting a little frustrated by this point. Just randomly tapping the X button to get it to throw right. Finally got it. Once I got the rhythm down, it was a little easier, but to begin with, it was just a little frustrating. More of this stuff. Now the good news is this part wasn't timed. I just had to be a little less dumb about it, as it were. It took me a couple of tries to figure out what I was doing. But then once I figured out what I was doing, it was easy. This part was a little confusing because they give you the directions up, down, left, right. But what they don't tell you is that you can aim down, left, and down, right instead of just left, right, down, up. Nailed it! And then went back to failing it. This will probably be the shortest PlayStation Plus highlights video I have ever done. As you can see, I finally figured it out. And I completed the basic tutorial, and then... Please wait. We got stuck here for a while. I almost thought the game was done with me and was about to quit it. But then I just sat there and just waited. Then we finally got back here and I got a trophy and I was like, sweet. So then I went to the advanced tutorial to see how this would work out for me. I got to play as this lovely lady. Super throws. Very interesting, but again, down to timing. And I wasn't sure how some of it was working, although I do love the explosive factor. It was pretty awesome. Because sometimes when I stood on the circle, it didn't charge up like it was supposed to. See, like here, I was on the circle and it didn't charge up. But then there it did, and I just failed. See, didn't charge up like it was supposed to. Boom! That's the super throw. Pretty neat looking, huh? Not sure what sort of mechanic that was, but I took issue with the fact that it didn't charge up like it was supposed to. Then you get the super returns. It's another timing thing. You gotta throw it as soon as you catch it, just like with the pink trail thing. While I did eventually get it, the timing was a pain in the butt. Got it! Impressive, don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be this difficult to throw a frisbee. Then the deflection shield was quite possibly my favorite aspect of this game. Quite possibly also the easiest part. Then the stuff block. Fun. Literally. I'm not joking or anything. This part was actually fun. After, I figured out what I was doing. Block. And shaboosh! I love that part. Then the skill curves, and we go back to the stuff that I couldn't do very well. In fact, this is where I finally gave up on the game. I could not figure out what they wanted me to do here. I started to figure it out, but then when I thought I had it, it wasn't working. Ultimately, in the end, I do not recommend this game if you don't like sports and if you don't have good, like, reflexes, because that's very important in this game. If you do like sports, however, I can definitely see you loving this game, because it's impressive, it's fun to a degree, and you know, it's got all the stuff that people like with the shiny lights, the good music. But I am not going to play this game anymore. If you're fans of Frisbee, Ultimate Frisbee, if you're a fan of like Rocket League and stuff like that, you know, just sports games in general, you'll probably like this game. And yeah, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and poke that like button for me. If you feel the need to, go and comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can. And tune in next month for our PlayStation highlights. It should be April 4th. And until then, night.